Hey guys, it's Nate with PlayYourCourt.com, and today we're going to show you a little trick to fix your volley. All right guys, today we're going to show you a simple trick to fix your volley, and this is for PlayYourCourt members 60 and below. One of the issues that we run into with the volley is that we don't get a grasp on what necessarily the joint position should be. All right. What we're referring to with this joint position is that when we're in a proper stance for the volley, we should be seeing an L, almost 90 degrees, from the elbow to the hand up to the racket, all right? And this is really important, and what we're gonna find is this position stays true on the backhand and on the forehand. So in the beginning, the backhand volley is really, really difficult because we struggle with the grip and trying to get the feel on that non-dominant side. But in time, especially for you advanced players, your backhand, although it may not be as potent, it may not have as pop, it's also the most consistent because it's really hard to mess up. All right, we're gonna talk about that again in just a moment, but let's put some attention over here on the forehand. The problem with the joint position on the forehand is because our arm has the ability to completely rotate around, all right, in this full 360, is that we have the ability to allow our arm to go back too far. We can straighten it out, right? We can drop the racket. There's just so many different variances of where the racket can travel. All right, and for a proper volley, what we're really trying to find is this elbow in front of the hip and the racket out in front, all right, where the movement, that contact happens in front. So although the contact is supposed to be out in front, it can get lost because the volley is a complicated mechanism. We've got to move up to the ball. We have to track the ball. The volley is done with the legs. We've got to get the feet set, right? There's so many other things that are happening. So the joint position can get lost. And so a lot of you struggle with swinging on your volleys, right, or dropping the racket and just this poor joint position. So what I'm going to show you is a little trick to really practice and find it. All right, so what we want to do here is from this ready position, I'm going to take my non-dominant arm and I'm going to reach in and I'm going to find my elbow. And so what you'll notice is I'm doing two moves at once. I'm pivoting on my toe so that my elbow lines up with my hip and my arm is in the direction of my knee. All right, and this is the joint position that I really want to be in on the forehand volley. All right, so one more time, from my ready position, I grab my elbow and I pivot out. And now you can see that everything is on this line. All right, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to practice volleys by using this position and just allowing the racket to work forward. All right, and from there, I make that solid contact out in front. By holding my elbow, I'm not going to have the ability to swing because I can't go but so far from here. So on a transition volley, even this would be fine. This would be okay here, right? But as soon as I left my arm, took my non-dominant arm off, my arm could wander. All right, so we're gonna get Scott out here. He's gonna feed me a few balls, and I'm gonna show you how to practice this and what it should look like. And then I'll take the arm off and show you that volley with contact out in front with the correct joint position. All right, guys, by controlling my dominant arm with my non-dominant arm, you can see here that I'm able to control the edge of the racket and really lead with that edge without over swinging. Okay guys, so now that I've learned to control that dominant side and really work through that joint position in the appropriate space by using my non-dominant arm to set parameters and control it, now it's time to start working towards the volley. And so what I'll do here is I'll still keep this left hand nearby, almost as if I'm handcuffed, all right? And that'll help me just kind of mentally not allow my arm to wander. If I feel like I'm breaking the chains, right, I know that I'm starting to swing. And there's a little bit of a swing or in a transition volley, but it's still not going to be that far behind you. And that's a whole nother video. All right, so here we'll demo, and I'll go ahead and demo, and I'll show you what it should look like without holding the arm, but using that left hand kind of as a guide. All right, guys, so going back to the backhand, as we promised we would, the joint position on the backhand is guaranteed because the beauty here is that you enter this L and the perimeters are already set. It's really hard to go any further because you're locked out through the shoulder. All right, so a little tip with the backhand is just make sure that you're keeping your elbow up to really help through this volley. So as Scott feeds me a few volleys here, what you're gonna see is that this joint position really locks out. I just need to limit how much it's moving on the front end of it. So guys, you can see with the racket working out in front, I'm already in this position of this 90 degrees. That makes the backhand volley relatively easy. So even if I want to swing, right, it just feels so goofy, right? Because it's locked me out. My parameter's already set because of the shoulder not going with me there, all right? So guys, to work on this volley, get out there on the forehand volley and work on holding the elbow and work through the stroke. And then let it go and work on kind of the handcuff, the old Pat Rafter. And that dude got down there and like literally looking at the ball through contact, but the hands were always pretty tight together, all right? And then from there, you'll find that that's automatically gonna be the set, that joint position is already gonna be set on the backhand. Guys, I hope you got a lot of useful information, that this video helped you. All right, if you haven't yet, go ahead and check out the community. We got a lot in there, it's super cheap. We're gonna pair you players of the same skill level, and you're gonna get instruction that's tailor-made just for you. All right, so hit the button below, hit like, please, hit subscribe, and then hit the link to check out the community.